The 440's back in the shop, guys. That means we're working on getting a fuel system in, so stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back in the shop. We've got Tom here, we've got his Monaco, and we've got a brand new gas tank. So we've got the filler neck installed. We've also got the sending unit installed on the other end. It's about time we get the car up in the air and see if this thing is gonna fit. Okay, so we've got the two vent lines connected up there. We've got the gas gauge hooked up, and now we've just got the one vent line, or the supply line, that's gonna be routed up by the vehicle frame. So we've got to get that little piece of frame, or that piece of hose off there. And then it's going to run up over top of the axle here. It comes out to the outside of the frame and hooks onto that clip right there. And then it makes its way over to a clip there. There's one there, there. It goes in through that hole, up through this channel, which, yes, by the way, has to be repaired. And then it comes out right there and clips into there. And if you look real close in the middle of the screen, you'll see the fuel pump is right there. We got to run the steel, convert it into a rubber hose, and we're golden. Once we have that done, we can then throw some fuel in the gas tank, and hopefully the gas gauge will work and it'll start picking up fuel on its own and supplying the engine. So we're going to run some fuel line. Maybe we'll set up a time lapse so you can watch me struggle with that, because y'all know how much I like working with line. And we'll get that up there and hopefully get this thing running under its own fuel cell or fuel tank by the time the end of this video rolls around. So let's get to it. Piece of copper that we had out in the back shop was perfect. We come up here through the frame, and as we can see, it ends right there. Well, and there's your fuel pump. So we'll just be able to loop that line coming down from that jerry can, and we'll put a flare on that so the hose doesn't back off. We come back here and we've got this to fit, so it clips into every single one of these clips from the factory. We're going to fix that line so it's not sticking out so much into the wheel well and the travel of the axle. And then we come over here and we've got our line, and we'll bend that down so that we can make a rubber line connection to the actual sending unit, and we'll be done. Okay, so we've got the supply line all connected here. It's barbed on the end of the hose here. Hose clamp on both ends. That's ready to roll. And we come up here and we've got the same thing. We got the line coming here, we've barbed that, and we got this hose kind of coming up and around so it's not kinked back into the fuel pump. Tom, all we need now is about 5 gallons of gas to get into that tank. We can get that primed up, and then the car will run and drive on its own like it should be right from the factory.
Yeah, I should be able to close on my loan for the gas. So.
Yeah. Good thing your better half is a loans officer, right? Anyways, we're going to put this thing down on the ground, and we're going to grab a bite to eat. We'll come back tomorrow, put some gas in it, and hopefully get it to run under its own power without the jug underneath the hood. Hey guys, if you're liking this video so far, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and bell notification, because it tells YouTube I'm doing a good job, and well, it helps grow the channel. And if you want to help support the channel in more ways than just watching this video, the first link in the description box below is a link to my Spreadshirt store, where you can buy awesome Olde Carr Guy merch, not like this old Olde Carr Auto Guy t-shirt, but some of the more modern stuff like a Dale the t-shirt, Dale the truck t-shirt, the OG Olde Carr Guy, and a few others. Help yourself, help support the channel, and buy yourself some Olde Carr Guy merch. So something that was pointed out to me was that the sending unit should be grounded to the fuel line because it can affect your gas gauge. if you take a look at this wire right here, well, that's the only wire going from there up to the gas gauge, and well, nothing else really is grounded. I mean, the tank is. But what we're going to do is, from the factory, there was supposed to be a strap that went from the filler nipple, the supply line nipple, to the fuel line, and just basically grounded those two lines together. So we're going to create one of those. Thanks to my buddy Dave McGraw, I'll put his name on the screen. Because Dave is pretty knowledgeable when it comes to these older Mopars. And when I flicked up this picture on Instagram, he caught onto it right away that asked if we had the ground strap. I didn't know what he was talking about. And he explained it to me in a text. So we're going to create one of those. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. Might not be the right way, but we're going to get it done. All right, so here's what we have to make this little ground trick work. We got a piece of wire here, probably about 8 inches long. We've bared the ends of it. We got 2 small hose clamps that we're going to use to clamp it to the nipple on the sending unit, as well as the copper line that we ran for fuel hose. Of course, we need a nut driver for the hose clamps, and you need wire strippers to strip the wire, and of course, just a pair of side cutters or whatever to cut it to length. So all we're going to do is we're going to put this up onto the nipple for the sending unit, and we're going to tighten that hose clamp down. We're going to go on the other end. We'll do the same thing on the actual supply line onto the copper. Once we get it all done and it's kind of fastened in place, then we're going to take some undercoating. We'll spray everything down so that it stays connected very well and rust doesn't get in the way of keeping that gas gauge from working properly. I'm going to go put this together. I'll show you the final product. Okay, so as you can see here, we took this wire and we wrapped it around the fuel line. It's in there securely. We came down here, we did the same thing on the actual nipple for the supply line on the filler neck, and that's going to ground out the sending unit. See, as the sending unit wire goes up, it's just going to the gas gauge, but we need to be able to ground this, the sending unit itself. There's a gasket between here and the tank keeping it from grounding, so that's why we're doing this. So all we've got left to do now is we're going to hose this down with some undercoating and make sure it stays well lubricated so that water and crap doesn't erode it and corrode it over the years, and keep that gas gauge working for a long time. So now it's time to get the car down off the rack and put a couple gallons of fuel in it, see if we can't get that primed up, make sure the gas gauge is working, make sure there's no leaks, and see if she'll start. All right, so we've got 10 gallons in to the new gas tank, and there's absolutely no reason why it should run out of gas or that it shouldn't start upon this first startup. So we're going to jump in the driver's seat, Tom, and we're going to turn the key on and see if the gas gauge at least reads probably about half or so or better. Okay. All right, let's do it. All right, so Tom's got the key
The wrong way.
upside down on a Dodge, Tom. You got to remember that.
Yeah, I know.
So we're going to zoom in over here to the fuel gauge and just turn it to the run position, and hopefully that fuel gauge goes up a little bit.
And it is going.
Please tell me that 10 gallons didn't just give it a quarter of a tank only.
Not even.
Well, you know what you're in for. All right. So let's see if we can't get this thing tuned up. Let's pump the gas a couple times and get the fuel all the way up to the carb. And that's just residual fuel in the line.
Got me all excited.
Is that all it takes?
Doesn't take much, my age. Boy, that was a little easier.
We'll see how long it lasts, but we might have made it, might be easy enough with all that gas in there, kind of siphoning itself through the lines. Once you give it a little bit of suction on the pump, Bob's your uncle. Well, that didn't take much. I think when we were pouring the gas in, it was probably siphoning itself through the lines. Car is running. We're gonna get it up in the air and we'll check for leaks. And yes, I know we gotta fix that belt. I don't see anything leaking down there so far, so we're good on this end. Nothing there. And for the record, this is just wet because I sprayed it with the undercoating. I think we're good. I think we're good, Tom. First time this car has started under its own everything since 1986. Can't wait to get it out for a drive. I do see the hose clamp must be leaking a little bit up there on that bottom radiator hose.
Oh yeah.
It's just dripping down. We'll have to tighten that up. Well guys, it's time to close out this video. We've got the gas tank in, we've got it grounded, the gas gauge works, the car starts on its own. No more jerry cans under the hood. So thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you do, it helps grow the channel and I appreciate it very much. Stay tuned for the next one, guys. Stay focused on the windshield, not the rear view mirror. I love you guys, God bless. Let's do it again real soon.